Hi guys, Heavy Bear here. Welcome to the second semi-final. The Drunk Slingers won the first in a pretty dominant fashion, and now are facing Hapshepsut and Storm, who lost against Team AoE on the last round. Looks like decent balls for reds and decent hand for blue as well. And green has really good balls and a nice 2 antelopes birds, whereas yellow has kind of nothing, which is yeah, that's really hard for yellow. So you'll have to go heavy on bushes and eventually go for a hunt right here or maybe here, which is a little bit closer. So I hope he sees that soon enough to get the hunt, because that is really hunt is really necessary in this game. So as per usual, I see 6 on food from all 4 players. Yeah, 6 on food. They should go for clay afterwards. So house on clay is usually what the next villager does. Yep. Okay, house on clay bits. House. Yeah. So those 4 players are now on the podium. So loser of this match will be third placed in the tournament. So it really shows that they practice their build orders. So now I think what will matter, at least will be deciding factor in this game, is who will be able to spam the slinger first. So based on the clay count, it looks like blue and yellow are a bit ahead for placing the archery range, but you also need 40 wood, so maybe green is the one getting the resources first. Yeah, yellow has... Okay, so now blue placing the archery range. Oh, it's granary, my bad. Okay, so granary first to get the balls. So it will be a little bit later on the range. So probably green will be the first to place it. Maybe red. Yeah, okay. So green is first. Red going for house first. And yellow is pretty far away from his own archery range. So yeah, so I'd say green will have a population lead for a while, but he has a little bit less food. So maybe it will be hard for him to produce the slingers and keep the production high. The house from blue and archery range should follow very soon. Yeah, archery range now. Archery range also for red, and yellow also are building the archery range, but building with 3. So he's idling a little bit more of his economy, but should make up for the timing. But as yellow had little to no hands, the resource really shows here. He went back to 70 food, which is pretty scary. His position, but he should be able to spam slingers still with all the food that he scouted. Blues taking the balls. Might take the antelopes afterwards, but after that he will be pretty starved. Sending 5 to middle, so I guess he's going for the really fast lead bullets. So yeah, very fast lead bullets, and now producing from archery range, but he's housed. So yeah, hitting the house first, and red also going for the very fast lead bullets, and also already have 3 slingers. And in terms of resources, the resources looks really good. Green has 5 slingers already, and he's almost at the elite slingers. 6 slingers for green, whereas blue already only has 3. But blue can do the edit and should have enough for lead bullets also. Yeah, so lead bullets. And blue is going for granary and sending the slingers forward to protect the villagers. And red is going for the red. Red takes in lead bullets, so we have a 530 lead bullets for red, which is pretty good. And now I noticed the yellow tower, so I'm not quite sure, but I think they have range advantage against the towers. No, maybe they don't. But they for sure have the range advantage compared to yellow's slingers. Yeah. So they should be able to win this fight. But now he's getting pressured on his food economy, so you have to move. And green is putting a lot of pressure on blue also. Those dunk singers are putting a lot of pressure on their opponent, but blue is kind of backdooring yellow's economy. It really looks like a, a full trade base. It would be fun to see red slingers in green's base. But blue is in a really tough position. Really needs a little bit more food to go militia and fight back. And as he has the food, so he should have the tech to go militia. With militia, he should fight pretty easily. And he got his slingers killed here. So I guess it's a win for blue, given of the population counts. He still have a little bit more, but if he's getting his archery sniped, and you really don't like to see that. So now he has the militia, and he should be able to fight back. Whereas yellow still have some slingers here, but red's is pretty safe in his base, and probably sending, yeah, so now he's sending slingers in green's base to put pressure on green and save his teammates. Blue is distracting green, so he really wants to save his archery range. And now he's fighting, nice pickup. And I think you can really see the lead bullets in because with fewer number, he took a pretty good trade, I think, and a really nice micro of the scouts, suiciding the scouts to get into mid range and make slingers melee attack. And it looks like it's a wall. Oh no! Yeah, he blocked green. He blocked green with the wall. That's really fun to see. Oh no! Good micro on blue. That's really fun. That's really fun. Looks like some. Hope it's better now. And now yellow still trying to poke, but it's pretty hard because it doesn't have the numbers. And I think so now he has lead bullet as well, so as they are even in terms of tech. But yeah, it looks like red did tons of damage in green's base. So yeah, in terms of population now, blue and yellow are kind of the same population, but now red has a huge lead over green. So maybe he can push a little bit more his advantage, not taking the fire of towers. Now, okay, so now all 4 players have lead bullets. And that's really nice, sending one villager into watchtower to tank some shots from all the slingers. I'm not quite sure I like this fight, because if he sends another slinger, okay. Oh, he killed 2. Whoa, whoa. That I'm not quite sure how it happens, because I think the second one had way more HP. Okay, so now blue is sending all into green's base because he knows that green is in a tough spot, and yellow is sending reinforcement right here, I think, to save green, because I think he cannot pressure red in his base. Yeah, really good micro from red because he's defending pretty well into his base and still pressuring. No, yeah, okay, so he's still pressuring. Green's economy, and blue is closing in. The classic pincher move. So red is pushing villagers towards blue, and I wonder where yellow is. Yeah, yellow is here. He really needs. I think he needs to send help into green's base because that's a lot of slingers now, and resource count looks pretty good for Hapshepsut and Storm. Maybe blue is kind of close to going palace, or maybe placing a second range to spam more slingers. Because I think in this position you really can transition to palace with this food. I wonder how it goes so fast. Okay, he has really strong food economy right now. Probably has plow. No, it doesn't have plow yet. It should have pretty soon. And green is in a really tough spot. But yellow fully recovered, so now he has quite good numbers. Yeah, but they cannot really do anything into red space, so maybe he needs to help his teammates. But I don't really see how we can save him. Green just might have been too far down. Okay, so now he's sniping the archery range, giving the Junkslinger a taste of their own medicine. The green has to go out of the watchtower on a really good micro. Blue is paying attention to his military and focusing down the slingers, trying to pick up some villagers. Second natural round from red, who has tons of resources. Maybe too much on clay. Okay, so he emptied 2 clay pits already. Yellow is building more towers. I don't really like those towers because they don't do much. Maybe he needed them at some point to defend against red, but those towers are not that useful. Yes, it's a really good pressure from Hapshepsut and Storm. And now green is trying to fight with all villagers, and blue will just take them out of the militia range and focus them down. He's doing quite a lot, but yeah, resources are super high from blue, so yeah, he's building another granary. Yeah, I think he needs a second range. Yeah, second range, and maybe he needs to send more on clay. Yeah, he has more on clay, so he's probably thinking of a palace transition if a game goes a little bit longer. And yellow is picking some villagers, but red realizes and will defend against yellow. I don't really see where. Okay, so yellow's army is here. Okay, nice pick up. So now I think red can just go for yellow's base. In terms of techs, yeah, they about have all the same techs. Yellow opted into masons, which makes a bit of sense because he spends a lot of time building towers actually, so he has a little bit more clay and building towers faster. Maybe he can transition to palace as well, and if he can have a good transition to palace, maybe he can recruit some javs and then fight against slingers. But for what I know, slingers is they are fighting pretty decent against the javs, as he has more number. Blue's echo looks like crazy good. He really needs to place a second range or build a palace because he has way too much food. And yellow's food is pretty high also. He has tons of resources. He should be able to place the palace right now. Yeah, so he's now placing the palace. So maybe if he can survive long enough with the slingers, he can recruit enough javelins to fight back. So they're killing village center. So they, I mean, all the time that Hapshepsut and Storm are spending to kill the village center, yellow is safe. So this is time that he have to transition to palace and maybe upgrade the slingers, the javelin throwers. So I think we can still recruiting those. Went for Cuddle Flow, so he'll have more villager production. Red is spamming unit like crazy from 2 archery range, so yeah, he has tons of numbers, as you can see. And just walking around the towers and going straight for yellow's economy. And okay, so I think yellow is going for heavy spears. So maybe he can tank slinger shots, but the barracks will be denied. Yellow has to ungarrison all his units to fight back, but now blue and red are coming for yellow's base. Yellow still have quite a good decent number, but most of their opponents have a better army count. And I now no as a palace, so he's going for Wheel Apothecary. I really like the choice of Wheel because with that many villagers, I think his resource count should go pretty high. And Apothecary is also a really good tech to go for when you fight, because unit regen is not to be ignored. And now, yes, there are just too many. And even if yellow can produce heavy spears and tank a lot of shots, it's still not enough. Okay, so it's pretty interesting because the timing was kind of similar for all players. We had something like a triple base race when yellow was in blue's base, blue was in green's base, and it was blue in yellow's base, yellow in red's base, and green in yellow's base, in the blue's base. But as soon as red attacked green and did ton of damage, and also blue fell back after doing some damage and defended from yellow, that was quite the turning point because they finally managed to amass units. And you can see red units are like really, it's like 80 warriors from red because he was pumping a lot of stinger from 2 ranges. So really well played from Hapshepsut and Storm, taking the first game. And yeah, let's see who wins in the second game. Okay, so an opposite start again. So for all players, teammates on the opposite side, decent balls for red, and pretty decent side balls also. Green is now on the opposite, so it used to be on east, but is now on west. Pretty poor hunt. He has 2 herds here, but no boars. Boars are really far. Blue have nice first herd and decent side herds also. Boars. And yellow has salmon antelopes. Mouflons kind of far. But yeah, so yellow's getting robbed again because as in the first game it doesn't have good food. But it has more than first game, so but it was not the first to die in last game, so maybe with a little bit more food he can fight a little bit better and pressure more the opponents. So as per usual, I see 6 on food, and 7 to build a house, then a clay pit. Yeah, dwelling on resource camp. Yeah, resource camp to get a little bit more efficient hunt. Also granary here to get a little bit more, a little bit better boar. And I think he chooses to build a granary instead of a resource camp because there's only one herd and a few berry bushes after that, so he might send them to berry bushes a little bit later into the game. So now Green finished the antelopes and maybe he didn't scout. Oh, that's a shame. I think yeah, he saw them, but maybe he didn't notice. Yeah, he scouted them for sure, but he didn't notice, and that's a shame because the second herd would do really good for him. And now he has to go all the way up, but taking two per third is really good this early on. And going earlier is really good because in few minutes, Blue we should have, at least might have slingers in his base and might be contesting the board, but he's losing one villager. No! 4 HP, one hit. That was close. That was a very close fight. And maybe Red can. Maybe. No, Red didn't pay attention, but had he paid attention, he could have maybe sniped it. So I see 3 on clay from Red. Really close to the archery range, but maybe. Okay, so building archery range first. Now he have that much time to build his house. Oh, he's getting house. He's getting house, yeah. But maybe he chose to play the archery range first because he was a little bit late on his timing. Yellow already has the archery range, and green also has one. Yeah, so that's why I think he opted into building one first, even if he's housed for a while. Oh no, he didn't. He wasn't housed. He first built the dwelling. I'm dwelling. Sorry. And blue also game going for Furnace super early. So I assume he's going to send 5 villagers to metal. Yeah. So the reason you send 5 villagers to metal is like each villager can carry 10 metal, and with 5 villager you can gather 50 metal, and you only need 50 to buy the lead bullets. So he sends 5 villagers to metal, get the 50 metals that he needs, and then reassign them to something else like food or wood. Green already has a decent number, 5 for him, whereas blue only has 2. But with the population count, I'd say blue has a little bit of a villager lead at the moment. And now green is also producing the slingers, but there's only 1. And green is now starving because he didn't notice this, but villager has tons of food on them. Yeah, so dropping the food and then getting better. It's already 6 slingers from green, but green doesn't have enough food to get technology points, so it will be very late on the slinger upgrade. Whereas blue already has the slinger upgrade. Yeah, he has the elite slinger, and yeah, he's going now for the lead bullets. I think it's a little bit later than in previous match. Same for red, but it looks like red. Okay, so red gathered the metal, but didn't drop it or spent. Oh, he already spent it. I'm sorry. Yeah, he already has the lead bullets, but he's staying at home with his army, whereas blue started to move. I know he's poking yellow when yellow's army is a little bit overextended. And yellow doesn't have the food either to go for edit, so that's a huge lead in terms of army comp. And this should be a really good fight for blue because numbers are quite even, but yellow doesn't have edit yet and doesn't have lead bullets either. So yeah, that's a way better start for blue. Yellow started taking the lead bullets, but doesn't have the metal yet. He has only 2 on metal, so he will need a few more trips. And it looks like blue is not fighting with all his slingers against any slingers. So he lost a little bit too much, but he killed probably 1 villager. Yellow sending villagers to help the slingers, but that means that blue is idling yellow's economy, and yellow still doesn't have the tech to go for elite. So yeah, that's a really good timing for blue to be attacking. And but red is staying in space. Probably he realizes that if green's attacks him, he needs to defend. But yeah, I think he really needs to put pressure on green also, so he cannot attack blue when blue is killing yellow. And now the starvation is on the other team because both players were starving for a bit. But red is hunting. Yeah, red is hunting. That's why he was a little bit starved, and blue is hunting as well. Okay, so hunt is now over. Oh, did he steal the boars? No, this one was boars. The boars? Maybe he will build a granary here to. He's waiting for the wood. Yeah, waiting for the wood to build a granary and get all the resource the berry bushes. But blue did tons of damage into yellow's base, and is now sniping the archery range. Red is placing some farms. Yeah, he has tons of wood, and now pressuring greens. And green still doesn't have elite slingers, and doesn't have but he has the lead bullets. But as long as green doesn't have elite slingers, his slingers are way weaker. And now I think red is placing a second archery range into. Yeah, red is placing the archery range into green's base, so we have a shorter rip up time for his army. And yellow is fighting with all villagers, but blue he has enough to one shot villagers at the moment. And and as he sniped the archery range, yellow teched in militia to buy a little bit more time for his villagers. And now red is putting a lot of pressure. He could be sniping some dwellings also, but I think he might be busy idling managing his echo. Blue is going on farm also now, and so red will probably try to snipe. I think sniping those 3 houses is really huge, but he doesn't have enough information. I mean, he doesn't have all the information that I have. And maybe he doesn't realize, but sniping villagers is still quite alright. But what did... Oh, green teched in blue? Wow, that's surprising. Now I really question that choice because I think in this position you really need to go for elite slingers, because I understand that you need more food, but the slinger are way weaker than wet slingers, so you really need the elite slingers to fight back. And blue is totally wiping yellow's base. Red is with the second archery range, so I think he's spamming from 2 archery range. So good echo from red because he's still not starving, and as I say, it goes minus. But yeah, not starving. I think he has a lot of units, and he might have an additional food source. But I mean, red has a lot more numbers, but you can see the damage difference between elite and non-elite. It's kind of crazy. 50% attack speed is really huge in Slinger Wars, because it means like it almost means like it's 15%. Yeah, this is BO3, but this is the second game. Hapshepsut and Storm already won first game, and they are looking to take the second. Yeah, and as I said, they take the second game. So yeah, really well played from Hapshepsut and Storm, taking the commanding victory over the Slingers. So I guess we're gonna have a rematch of the last game, the last match of the third one in the upper brackets, and Team AOE will fight Hapshepsut and Storm in the finals tomorrow. Thank you all for coming, for showing in the stream. Hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you'll join tomorrow for the games also. Well played to Hapshepsut and Storm. Well played, Slingers. The third place of the tournament, which is pretty great. They had a really good showing against every other team, and yeah, well played to all. And see you guys.